Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Darksiders 3. We're doing this void area, which is either DLC or it is just a side area you can do whenever you want. Seemingly, it's either all been done now and we're just going to a straight boss battle, or there's maybe 4 different sections. I almost wonder if... Ooh, that is frame ratey. Almost probably should exit the game.
Your transgressions are costly. I have slain many of your brethren. If you wish to avoid the same fate, I suggest you talk. Why do you infest the serpent holes?
It's just not going to say anything.
Now!
Which that's in character, I think, with Fury, to just be upset.
Your silence is disrespectful. Time to teach you some manners.
It's not going to attack. Interesting. So it's not even going to attack me. And that is one of the things I think about some of these enemies, is I wonder if they really are even programmed in such a way to actually attack you. Like, obviously you're kind of trapped in here and you can't escape. So yeah, Volgrim sent us to take care of this golem that was infecting the serpent holes, the void, and we did a puzzle, and I guess that puzzle room we did before is possibly the entirety of the puzzle room. The other thing here, I suppose, to take from this is maybe he'll start attacking me after I hit him. Okay. His name is Agnosh. I've decided to turn off the hold feature for targeting in favor of this guy. Could be a pretty heavy hitter, but if you manage to not get hit too much, I think you're kind of fine. That being said, let's refill our health. It's not a big deal to go into wrath mode and do some extra damage. And yeah, we've got this, unless he starts hitting me very hard. This is kind of a great example of what I think the game really wants from itself, as far as showing the high action beat 'em up experiences when fighting a boss. So we now have the Talons of Scorn, attuned to the Talons of Scorn to the Flame Hollow in your weapons inventory. So this might be the way in which we get a stronger weapon now. Let's see. Attune the Hollow would be that. And I guess that was the right move. Scorn adapts to Fury's will with each of her forms, inspired by searing power of the Flame Hollow. Scorn takes the form of 2 fiery claws. Fury uses these talons to shred enemies with fierce precision. Let's also go ahead and equip this item to it, since we have an extra item to increase physical damage with that weapon, and just have a passive defense of physical things. Alright, so now it's no longer even a whip attack. Now I don't know if I really want to stick with the flame attack not being a whip attack. Let's see if we can do something here where we switch to a lightning mode. In that one it would be a whip attack still. I was definitely leaning more towards the idea that this equipment here would have been the weapon to use. So either... Let's check this again. Y attacks as the claws. X is still the whip when you're a flame hollow. Okay, that works. Instead of using the chains of sorrow. So you effectively have either this or this as a choice. If we come over and look this way, I guess that's how this is going to be broken down, and it does kind of highlight that there are going to be some special conditions that you have to accomplish to unlock these weapons. They're not just random weapons that you would pick up from an enemy and use, like the second game. The second game very much had that problem of being like that. I'm thinking, though, that this is kind of a scenario where the red flames we've seen are specifically for the Flame Hollow ability, and the purple flames probably are a different ability. See, I wanted to drop down here because this gate needed to be raised, because that's kind of where we started. So we've gone full circle, and I guess the question will come down to, can we do more of this? Yeah, this gate is also unlocked. See, yeah, that looks like there's a whole second lightning area. Yeah. Each of these columns is one of the hollow abilities. And so we don't have this hollow ability, we can't go that way. We don't have this hollow ability, we can't go that way. We do have this hollow ability, so we can go this way. So I think it probably does benefit you to stick with this. Strike the void with a charged hollow attack on the web to imbue it with the hollow power. I'm not sure this will work on the fire attack. Interesting, it seems like it will. Even though obviously we're going to get into the lightning attack eventually. Ah. So I hit it with the wrong energy. And that does effectively just let you fly across areas now with this ability. There is a danger, certainly, that the enemies in this next section will be too strong. That does seem fairly believable. We'll see how this goes, though. You are fairly capable, though, of beating on enemies even when they're defending and just staggering them back into a corner. I think you might have to do both. I guess it's just a matter of faith as far as just how far can you glide. Going in that direction was a mistake. I thought there might be something secret there. I'm gonna push forward as much as possible, but it definitely feels like that doesn't work. I wonder if you have to hit these at specific angles. Yeah, because the fire just did bring out the cubes. So I must have gone out of order there. Now we just have an entire cube missing. So now it seems like the game may come down to having to pick up and move cubes around. Right, that's believable. So we can see there's a floating cube over there, and that's probably the one we're moving. And I think the idea is we're going up. Meanwhile, while we work our way through this whole maze, we're getting more items to potentially level up our character. And I'm hoping that that will help us. Although we may just come out of this being fairly overpowered. Also, I really am not going to remember what I was doing so much. Right. So we have the ball. You pretty much have a guaranteed hit when you throw it. And it doesn't seem like you can call it back to you. Not shooting a gun there, obviously, but throwing things to use that targeting mode. The targeting mode was a little awkward, I would say, even in the first game. Not incredibly awkward, but awkward enough. Yep. enemies are just walking out of the sides of the walls, but these are kind of uniquely stone enemies, so almost makes sense. Doesn't feel incredibly fair, but in all fairness, if all games had enemies teleporting out of the sides of walls instead of having monster closets, it would not be that different. Like, monster closets have been played out and used, and they're not great, and teleporting people in the fights is just as good of an idea. Okay. So you shoot up to that, and that gets you over there, and it could get you across over here. I don't think it's supposed to. Well, maybe it is. Maybe there's a boss fight over here, but then there's also this over here, so I guess I am supposed to come over here. And this is another one of those cases where it's really not going to let you. It's not going to let you knock the enemy off the edge, and it's not going to let the enemy knock you over the edge. So you have a little inferior in size platforms. But not terrible. They're a little cramped as far as areas and platforms, though. I think I would prefer 10-20% wider and more square platforms for arena sections, and who cares really if that spoils a bit of a surprise. Wow, barely made that. So this guy is a lightning guy, which probably means he's not particularly hurt by lightning attacks. I definitely feel the impact of fighting with lightning in this hollow form, but I honestly don't know if it is actually doing any extra damage. Well, it sure feels like I should be able to open this gate. And yes, I can. Interesting. Pressing B to open the gate destroyed the ball, but then the ball respawned. Socket the void orb to activate the pedestal. Now it just looks like all the other pedestals. And it seems like you want it to move first, and then you want it to give you the boost. This feels slightly more puzzly than the previous void section. That's probably a good thing. I imagine it will become more and more of a puzzle thing. I probably need some smaller enemies to fight, though. I'm noticing that my respite is not really getting refilled fast enough. Don't quite reach that height. So, my guess is we're supposed to go down and we're supposed to attack this. Figure out which one of these or which of these guys are actually enemies. Although they might be randomly getting picked. So it's possible they all could be enemies, or it's possible that if we were to have come back to this area in a later time, that I kind of wish when they're defending you would do at least a little bit of damage to them. Yeah, I think it is believable that so is this an entire chamber that is only centered around enemies attacking me? Drop down on this guy. Interesting. Oops, hit the wrong button. There goes all my wrath attack. I think we got everything here. Well, so far so good. This is a kind of great layout of a place. With his health locked like this, this will give us a good indication of how much damage the lightning does compared to the fire attacks. What I would say is that definitely feels like the stagger amount is different in that situation, and that it put me in a worse position as far as trying to fight the enemy that was such a heavy hitter and a big time hitter. I guess you're fairly safe to jump down here. I don't know why my Nephilim's Respite, though, is now back to being high. Alright, so we have a cube we need to move first before we can make that jump. Okay. Let's not die here. Yeah, it's swing, swing, then swing at the same height, but the cube has to be down. So we need to figure out where the cube is, where the switch is, and I don't see it. So that probably is a shortcut on the way back. Yeah, I definitely think by the time I get back to the main story, I'll pretty much forget where I was going, which should be alright. But it does totally point out how there's not consistent thinking happening around this game. There's one team that wants to make a void level, and then there's another team that wants to make an extremely linear experience, and the two are not connected. Alright. Yeah. I think I have to go all the way back around after hitting that switch. That's my guess here. Is that to reach that secret area, you had to go all the way around here. Of course, there's as good of a chance that it's the switch that I just powered up and activated. Well, maybe slightly lesser chance. Unless there was a switch over here I totally missed. What we have not seen in this game ever before is a game switch that's just like totally hidden. Everything has been fairly obvious as far as how it works. Okay, well, we'll swing here. Swing here. Yeah. The double jump did get me high enough. Swing here. Swing here. Swing here. And see, there's just totally no way that you're gonna make it. Is there a way that I could get all the way to the top of this building? I think there might be at some point in the future, but I don't think we're at that point yet. So I have to just assume that I can't reach that, or there's some crazy puzzle that I'm not even seeing the components for. There might just be some crazy pathway that has us walking on invisible paths in circles around the entire perimeter of all these puzzle areas. And see, when you come over here, it doesn't refill your respites abilities. That should be right. Yeah. It does kind of look like there might be a way up here and up there, and then possibly all the way over there. That is a lot, certainly. But that may just be the final boss area also. Because that seems like that's what we're working for. We're getting some very soft music playing in the background, which is nice. This gives you an interesting idea also of what the game would be like if Fury just never talked at all and didn't have that kind of banter back and forth with the Watcher, which there isn't even a lot of that banter anyways. Right. Seems like you could probably just try and angle and toss it that way, but I don't think that's what they're planning on us doing. We should go check out what this is over here, just in case there's more to this puzzle. Well, I actually can't reach that, can I? Some of these lower sections seem to be kind of extra. I guess we're probably going to end up going in circles a couple more times. Yeah, there's nothing in this room otherwise. Okay. So that one was moving. Which I guess means it's this cube. Which noticeably you don't actually have to be facing the cube to hit it and activate it. And I guess the real question is just coming down to should I be hitting these cubes with lightning also? Seems like if the edges are glowing a certain way, they should be hit with lightning. But that may not be all of them. Yep, up we go. And we get that lovely "you solved the puzzle" sound effect. That is one of the annoying things I will say about video games, is that that's a great sound effect. You would almost, I personally would enjoy if all other THQ Nordic Embracer Group games took that sound effect and just kind of made that their little marker of we're gonna do this in all of our games, or we're gonna let other people make games and use that sound effect. I don't want it to become cliche, but at a certain point, it probably is better to have. Oh, this is some kind of robot. Something like the Wilhelm scream get used so much that it becomes iconic. Although, in all fairness, the Wilhelm scream is overused by far. But far too often, people want to try and create something different instead of just doing something that's already proven itself to kind of work. And most of the time, that is the right move. But occasionally, if Star Wars sounds good because of the Star Wars theme music, maybe you should just play the Star Wars theme music and then hire the person who made the Star Wars theme music to score more movies. Movies, I guess, are an example of they really are more of an example of people that do that more often, stealing ideas. Because you do get to see more cliches in movies than video games. Although in all fairness, when somebody does decide they want to steal ideas for a video game, it is usually they want to steal very basic things that don't really work so much. It is interesting that you have these statues like this. And I absolutely cannot get up here? No, I can get up here. It was just a tight jump. I can't help but have the feeling, though, that a lot of the levels I'm going through are designed in such a way as to imply somebody is either coming through these levels later on in the future, or somebody has already come through the levels in the past. And I don't 100% believe that it's just because we may come back to these levels. I kind of feel like it's more of a case that they're going to imply that either strife or war or death, one of the other four horsemen of the apocalypse, is going to go through these levels or has been through these levels. The fact that there are so many dead demons does kind of seem to indicate that this is a time frame after war, and war potentially has killed a lot of the demons. Yep. And we're getting nice 40-minute or so experiences for each section of this void. I imagine we'll get no dialogue again.
I'm feeling benevolent. Leave the serpent holes or die where you stand. Die it is.
Again, he's not going to attack you. It's very possible that some kind of magic is doing all of this. Alright. So he is Zion. Which, I don't know what attack I just set up, but it seems to be wreaking havoc on him. Although, I don't know if it's wreaking enough havoc. So let's go over to fire. And let's do our Havoc form. The camera is having trouble, to say the least. In Havoc form, I seem to be gaining health instead of losing it, which that means that there's room for improvement. Alright, I'm going over, well, I just got wrecked, but I was moving over to using small crystals. Alright, Wrath, Shard, Healing Shard, Strength Shard, Fortification Shard, Havoc Shard. I only have one Havoc Shard. I don't think I want to use it. So I don't want to really use a Arcane Shard. Alright, so what I think I want to do is go with a Strength Shard. And then that. And boom, my Strength Shard is going to run out fairly quickly, so I have to make a mad dash towards the boss fight. I wasn't close enough. I think I want to be in the fire attack mode. Definitely want to come back and destroy my spirits. This really is going to come down to not taking too much damage. I probably need to do a defense shard too. Yeah. Okay, the danger now that you're running into is you could lose all your spirits, and I could be attributing up, but I can't get my spirits and leave the fight, so like Rashard being used now is not a terrible idea. But I can't really do anything else until the next cooldown's done. Because that's quite a while. I think maybe there is more just of an idea around dodging and getting those dodges as fast as possible. And once he starts to charge up, just powering up there. Yeah. And see, there's just no way to pause here and say, hey, let me go to a consumable, because that's just not what this kind of game is. To say, hey, let me equip that consumable and use it. I don't know what happened here, why his health is so high, even. I thought I'd gotten his health down lower than that. I'm getting worse, not better, with the dodging. Good thing I don't have any more hollow abilities, because I am being pushed to the limit. And see, he's just like straight up hitting me with lightning, so I don't know if lightning mode protects you from lightning or what, but I've spent so much here. I just gotta cut my losses. Like, one more guess. And that we take the fortification shard and hope that works. But if this fails, I've spent a bunch of shards and I just have to lose whatever souls I have. There's nothing I can do to throw things at him or shoot the souls from there and collect them. If the game was really generous, it might leave the souls there, even if I died multiple times. But I don't really have a lot of faith in that happening. So what that also creates is a situation where you're inevitably potentially losing anything you earned in the void. Like, because, yeah, anything you lost in the, you earned in the void, you could potentially lose again. Interesting. It didn't hurt me when he hit me with the lightning when I was in lightning mode, but it put me out of lightning mode. I'm just going to use respite now out of safety. Yeah. Oddly, it puts you into, like, when he does the direct over the air attack of lightning, it just takes you out of lightning mode. That doesn't actually hurt you. And so I just have to follow back into it. I'm not really doing great here, though. Like, I almost died there. use a Havoc Shard and hope that this can do a significant amount of damage and get our health up. Not enough. Man, yeah, he's regaining health, and he's just taking me out. So I've probably wasted a bunch of shards there, or I haven't wasted any shards at all. But I think I have. But I do think I have to leave it at that, and
what would you ask of this humble merchant?
Let's see. I mean, we could do undying things. We could feed.
Take your time.
Like we have no crystals at all, so we would have to sell crystals first. This is where having the items like this, so you could just break everything, makes some sense. Because you don't lose that when you die.
Do make sure they what would you ask of the... Take your time.
Let's see. Arcane Shard, increase the power of arcane abilities. Undying Shard, we could buy that. We can't buy new armor.
As you wish. This will be fun for both of us.
We can't level up.
As you wish. Take your time.
Healing shards at the moment are probably not that useful. Reflects damage back. Well, actually, selling any of these shards is pretty useless, I think.
A wise decision.
Improve attack speed. How many of these thorn shards do I have? Let's just buy one.
As you wish.
Alright. The Undying Shard is activated. We'll wait for the cooldown, and then we will activate, I think, the Thorn Shard. Really, we need to activate the Fortification Shard. And this might just be an example of where having health as low as I do is a problem. Immediately I'm taking 2 hits that were unnecessary. Alright. Now the idea now would be to avoid doing a lot of damage to yourself and getting your wrath effects back up. But he kind of feels like he totally changes his attacks somewhat once you get down to a third health. he's down to a quarter of life. And I don't know if I used the Undying Shard there, or if I didn't. But it is noticeable that his health is back up higher, as if his health went up when I used the respite as much as, let's see, I use the respite, my health goes up, his health is getting charged by the lightning. So yeah, he's recharging himself every time he sticks his hand in the air with lightning to do a lightning attack. So yeah, I don't think I can beat him. It seems like the game doesn't want me to be able to beat him yet. Okay. Serpent holes.
Take your time.
I guess we're going back to the cistern eventually. But let's go to the Master's Forge first. Well, that's not as productive as it really should have been. At a certain level, grinding out and spending 4,000, losing 4,000 souls isn't really that much. But losing some of those gems is a bit of a loss, I would say.
Fare thee well, horseman.
How does your path lead you back here? Thanks for saving me.
Let's talk to this guy. Upgrade enhancements. The fact that you press B to start talking and then you...
Let's see what I can do.
Okay. We could upgrade this, which would increase physical attack with the... It would increase physical attack there. Or we could upgrade this, which would increase our Havoc form time, which might be useful. Or we can increase the amount of currency we get. And I think, obviously, you want to increase the currency first. Alright. Let's see if we can upgrade something else. Physical and arcane damage with a different weapon, or Havoc form duration as a passive ability, I think is our better move there.
Oh, what beautiful havoc you'll wreak with that.
We can't upgrade that one. We do have the opportunity here to make an angelic juggernaut, since we haven't done anything angelic, and that might move us to a second level, whereas if we were to just increase the physical damage, that's not as big of a deal. So a passive boost, I believe, of physical damage reductions there and there.
But now you're even deadlier.
And if we went and bought a couple more angelic artifacts, we could even get to a third level there.
Interesting. Aiming to lay down a mighty herd, Tarry?
We could do an increase damage on this one first, because I think we are going to stick with the Barbs of Scorn more than often. And then Talons of Scorn versus, I mean, maybe it is, maybe I should have been using the Talons of Scorn instead of the Chains of Scorn. I mean, it is our new level, new weapon.
What beautiful havoc you'll wreak with that. Anything that was possible, but now you're even deadlier.
Just level everything up to level 3 is probably your best bet, because we're going to have slivers of adamantium. You need fragments of adamantium after +3.
Interesting.
Really doesn't do enough as a weapons upgrade character. He's not giving you quests, which is odd. He's not asking anything from you.
This place is beautiful.
We've saved a few people. They seem to be moving.
This place is beautiful.
Obviously, the voice actors were given very small lines of dialogue. They didn't think or care to think about it.
Thanks for saving me.
We are seeing basically a new person for every person we do save. Let's see.
Greetings. Please take your time.
Let's give it one last try. And then we'll give up after that. Just make sure we don't have any consumables that would lead to an upgrade. Okay. Should I attune this weapon? Or should I attune this weapon? Like, this is the better weapon as far as physical damage reduction. But honestly, I probably should have been upgrading this. Okay. So, Undying Shard, last one of those. Frenzy Shard, Havoc Shard, Fortification Shard, Strength Shard. Strength Shard might be the one to go with. I just can't say no to myself to really want to try and win here. A Wrath Shard early probably wouldn't be a bad idea either, but I don't think you get that many choices. Like, what's funny is how much damage you can really do early, and then he starts to charge himself up, stealing your power. Ooh, maybe that is a idea, that when he sticks his hand up, I should switch from electrical power form to a fire form, since he is effectively stealing my power anyways at that point. Yeah. He can't regenerate his health unless he sticks his hand up. So there was a whole trick to this that I didn't figure out until now. And that's why I was having so much trouble, is that the game literally would just not let you beat the guy unless you figured out that you have to get out of that hollow mode and switch over to a different hollow mode, or just turn it off. But obviously it would be too slow to turn it off. Well, I enjoy having made progress there. That's nice. That being said, there was still that area in the far corner we never figured out, and that's kind of annoying. It almost feels like there would be some kind of shortcut section. And I might as well find something to fight. But I really don't have anything to fight.
Good eating. Please take your time.
Okay. So we were in the cistern and getting back to the main story. And yeah, a lot of hassle there. A lot of hassle. And yeah, that's going to be it for this recording. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.